Hello, fellow Red Devils of Richmond Community Schools. Dr. Wright, your school superintendent. The reason for my public address is to share a recap of our collective progress thus far this school year and to wish you all a very relaxing fall recess. Earlier this year, I laid out my student achievement visionary perspective and how it correlates with our corporation's strategic goals. I informed you that our leadership teams, educators, and educational partners have been working collaboratively to address the current needs of all of our students through quality Tier 1 instruction while systemically aligning our efforts and improving upon social-emotional supports. Through resiliency, intentional focus, and strategic planning, we remain steadfast to meet our mark. For example, we have partnered with the National Institute of Excellence in Teaching, also known as NIET, to ensure that we have systems in place for our K-8 educators to regularly collaborate using student work as evidence of our impact on student learning. This week, my Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Dawn Sansini, will be sharing in detail the intricacies of the initiative and how several schools throughout our corporation are already seeing results within their respective classrooms. In addition, we have partnered with the Indiana Department of Education and State Superintendent Dr. Katie Jenner to bring to Richmond the nationally recognized Get Your Teach On program that has provided professional development for our leadership teams, educators, and staff members. Within our Human Resources Office, led by Mrs. Jamie Bozer, we were able to fill all of our classroom teacher vacancies at the beginning of the year. Even more, our school board of trustees voted to increase the pay of paraprofessionals and classified staff members that will go into effect next month. Kudos to our human resources, business, and central office leadership teams in working diligently to prepare the recommendation that our board of trustees approved by majority vote. With regard to our strategic goal to improve overall equity within our corporation, we have recently undergone training with Indiana University professor Dr. Minji Parker to professionally develop faculty, staff, students, and community stakeholders in the areas of social-emotional learning and supporting the whole child. With ever-increasing trauma and hard times throughout our city, together we will continue to instill confidence amongst all of our students. And who could forget Safari Night in Jack Elstro Plaza? Given the fact that Mr. Jack Elstro was our neighbor there on the south side of town, I am confident that he was with us in spirit and enjoying every minute of the Title I Safari adventure. We have also strengthened our partnerships with local businesses, national, and state vendors, as well as with our first responders throughout our city, county, and state. Providing the very best customer service, customer care, and customer satisfaction in a user-friendly fashion is still our driving course of action to improve overall student achievement. In conclusion, for the first time since the pandemic began, Richmond Community Schools celebrated homecoming to the full extent during the week of September 19, 2022. For those of you that may remember, at the age of 5, I served as our city's Rose Festival Junior King in 1984. During that experience, I had the privilege to ride on a float throughout a parade route that stretched through Main Street and beyond. It was during that Rose Festival celebration that I fell deeply in love with our city. The thousands of community members that lined the streets back then was breathtaking, and the whole experience captured the true essence of our city's spirit. Well, it warms my heart to share with you that at our most recent RCS homecoming celebration, I was privileged to represent our corporation as Grand Marshal. And as you can imagine, I was able to ride on another makeshift float to capture the spirit of our fair city. And let me tell you, Richmond, our spirit is strong, despite the adversarial setbacks we have endured over the course of time. From my vantage point atop the float, I witnessed community engagement that reminded me of my experience in 1984. Families from all walks of life were everywhere along the parade route. Children were full of joy and laughter, while parents, guardians, and community members were full of nothing but support. For my elementary-age children who joined me on the float, they too instantaneously fell in love with Richmond along the route of our parade. Although they were not born here in Richmond, prior to us coming home, I promised Nicholas and Harley that Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz was right, that there is no place like home. Until next time, I thank you, Richmond.